right in the fairway. Well, had a good look at the green, but couldn't cash it in the rough now, wondering what might have been. Well, Frank, this is a case where a par is going to feel like an eagle if he's able to get this done.
If he can just make it, just make this putt, then just like run to the next tee.
Not that time. Pretty good effort, but it'll wander a couple of feet by. Okay, that one brushed in for bogey here at the 5th. And that's going to move him back to 2 over par. Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, or do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's being stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering in that choke point. So the strategy, do you have the length to get past them? Or if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot.
Nicely read there. It is a par here at the 6th, and he'll remain at 2 over par. Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill.
No, that is into the larger of the 2 bunkers around this 7th green. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Nope, that is not much of an improvement. Okay, deep breath taken. Time to regroup here. Okay, not a bad recovery from out of the sand, and a chance, maybe, to limit the damage to 1 drop shot. Frank, that is painful.
And all you got to do, just hit it. Just hit it.
Okay, so that one finished off with double bogey. And that's going to drop him all the way down to 8 over par. For the golfer we had our eye on, no other way to say it, Frank, just not a real good day out there.
It could be a short week, Rich. We can complain about the conditions and that, but look at the leaderboard. The rest of the field, they didn't have a problem.
So that's it for us. EA Sports, and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the Sonoran Desert and always entertaining TPC Scottsdale, it's live second-round coverage of the WM Phoenix Open. It is known as the greatest show on grass, and it has lived up to that moniker through the first couple of rounds as we take a look at the Friday leaderboard. Out front, it's Max Homa. He's currently at 5 under. We get into the action here starting at the par 3 fourth. And that will be quite a challenge from there to get away with his par.
If he can make this, I'll just take it and run to the next hole.
That one finished off. It is a bogey here at 4. And he'll continue his slide. He is at 9 over par. Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Of course, that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains relatively similar to what it used to be.
Set up in the fairway, 200 yards from here. That one was running so hot. Oh, nothing routine about that one. Well done to roll it in for par. And he's going to stay at 9 over par. Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
Just what you want at this point in the round. You're trying to find a rhythm, hit fairways, hit the middle of the club face. That's what they did right there. PGA Tour moves back to California next week. We'll be at Hogan's Alley in Riviera Country Club just west of Los Angeles for the Genesis Invitational. Frank, we go from hysteria to history.
Oh, you do, yeah. Humphrey Bogart's tree on the left side of the 12th hole. Still there, and it's still a feature. A huge sycamore tree there kicks the odd ball away from the green. It's good. The whole golf course is in a sort of a bowl, so you get these swirling winds. I know they've tried to renovate the golf course over the last few years. It's actually made the fairways a little wider, but another straight-up test. I mean, the West Coast swing, you really have to bring your game.
Didn't trust the read there, and that's going to cost him. That one safely in for a bogey. And that's going to move him all the way down to plus 10. This 215-yard 7th is the longest par 3 at TPC Scottsdale. The challenge here is that there's a false front there, so if you don't take enough club, you can come back off short of the green. And if you're left, you'll end up in that big bunker, which is guarding the putting surface. That's going to be on the putting surface, and a birdie look straight ahead. Birdie putt coming up, and we go to Iona Stephen.
There is a sneaky bit of break from left to right on this putt, but don't overdo it.
Ten-foot putt left. That one in. It is a bogey here at the 7th. And with it, he's going to fall even further down this leaderboard, well above par. This is a good hole right here. The par 4 8th at 475 yards, a slight dogleg to the left. This is where you want to hit that sweeper. If you have that in your bag, get a little extra roll on that hooking tee shot from there. You'll have a chance to make a birdie. Solid, a good drive in the fairway.
Fairway at the 8 slopes dramatically from right to left. Ball sitting in the right portion of this fairway. Wants to go right to left, but the green calls for a left to right shot. Let's see what happens.
Imagine a miss club, because that ball sailed past the flag. Really just fortunate to stay on the back of the green.
Well read. That's in for a bogey 5. And that's going to drop him even further down the leaderboard. So 2 rounds complete here, Frank. What have you seen so far?
I know a lot of other people might think so, but I think the course is tough, but it's extremely fair. The goal of a golf course, Rich, you know it, I know it, we watch it all the time, is to separate the field.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, from the wetlands, it's live opening round coverage of the Florida Classic. What might we have in store for us over the course of these next 4 days? We've got big names, we've got dark horses, we've got it all as we look at the leaderboard on this Thursday. The leader right now is Adam Long. He's already at 9 under par. Meanwhile, our featured golfer will begin already 6 shots off the pace. Third shot, looking for a good one. Well, it's on, but that's going to make things difficult from there. Well, Iona's had a good look. Now this for birdie.
Well, for a long putt like this, there's really not a whole lot to it. I think you'll fancy his chances at this one.
Frank, that's just a really good putt right there.
Yeah, that's why you call lag putting. And you get outside a certain distance, and really your mind has to be about two putting and not trying to be a hero.
That one finished off. It'll be a par here at 7. And he'll stay at -3. Safely aboard, front right portion of the green, and an outside look at birdie. We welcome in Iona Stephen. This, a putt for birdie.
Yeah, Rich, this is one definitely to take a run at. Not much movement or slope to speak of at all.
Okay, good roll there. It is a par here at the 8th, and he'll stay right where he is.
The 9th hole, Frank, is a muscular par 5, 621 yards.
You see why length is a huge advantage of this golf course, just under 7,700 yards. This hole here, another example, good tee shot. Perhaps think of going for the par 5 and 2, but great collection of 3 bunkers that sort of annoy you with your layup there. Got to make sure you avoid all of those to leave yourself a nice little wedge shot in here if you can't reach it in 2.
We all know there is so much emphasis these days on power, hitting the ball long ways. We forget once in a while that you have to be able to put the ball in the proper places. That's what he's done right here.
Yeah, par 5s were designed as 3-shotters, and this hole is definitely a 3-shotter today. And that ball looked very good in the air. Just doesn't quite finish up that near to the flag, but still on the green.
That is crafty right there. A beautiful putt, and the result is a birdie. We begin the inward 9 at the wetlands with the lengthy par 3 10th, 246 yards, 3 bunkers protecting the front of the green, and anything long or left has a chance to be wet. And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either, sitting up in the short grass. Oh, would you expect anything less with the way things are going? Everything is dropping right now, even balls from off the green. Moving on to the par 4 11, just a little bit more than 440 yards. Arriving here at the 443-yard par 4 11, best to play it left center off the tee to give you a good look on the approach and take a bit of length off the hole. Boy, a good round going here on this Thursday, and that another fine effort off the tee. Breeze at his back shoulder as he lines up his second from the fairway.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No, no chance.
So that brushed in for par here at 11, and he'll stay at 7 under. Our featured golfer in a good position, you'd have to say. Just 3 shots off the pace after round 1.
Just got to keep the leaders in check, though. Can't afford to get further away.
So that's a wrap for all of us at EA Sports PGA Tour. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you next time. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, from the wetlands, we bring you live second-round coverage of the Florida Classic. But if we see more of what we witnessed yesterday, we're in for a heck of a battle these next 3 days as we show you the current leaderboard here on this Friday. And we've got a packed group at the top with a tie at 12 under. So let's get out to the course as we pick up the action starting at the par 4 11. So we have quite a story brewing here. The rookie is leading our featured player with the top spot here on a Friday. That's a good time to bring in Nota Begay III, man who won twice in his rookie season on the PGA Tour. Nota, you were out there. What'd you see in that round yesterday?
I just saw a lot of quality golf, a good consistency in the ball strike, some good decision making, rebounded from the mistakes well, and that's exactly how you piece together a successful round.
Rookie looked like a veteran.
Absolutely, and that's exactly how it has to build. You learn from your mistakes, you try and go out and apply what's been working, and yesterday was a great example of being able to execute at a high level.
Okay, that one finished off for a par, and this will stay a one-shot lead. Up next, the first par 5 of the back 9 here at the Wetlands, the 576-yard 12 wide fairway with no real trouble off the tee, so it is a good time to let it rip. Looking for a strong finishing kick here on this Friday to get set up for the weekend, and that another good drive here. Third shot about 100 yards out.
$17-foot putt here.
So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. So a tough hole that's in for bogey at 12. And he'll fall back down to 11 under. Here we go at the par 4 13, 452 yards. What's the best angle of attack?
The straight line really is the best way here, like a lot of holes on the golf course. But straight, as we know, is not often easy. Fairway does start to widen up the further out there you get it. So for the longer hitters, this hole actually plays relatively easy. For the shorter hitters in that narrow area, that'll leave you a lengthy second shot where you just might have to bisect the two front greenside bunkers.
Next week, the Florida swing continues. Frankie, it's a home game for you. That's always nice as we head to Orlando and Bay Hill for the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard. Always a good week.
No, it certainly is. Get some home-cooked meals, that's for sure, and get to watch people play. I don't know, I just love the finish at Bay Hill. 16, 17, and 18. So many tournaments where things have gone awry over that very stretch.
Oh, man, the speed was spot on. A good putt, but nothing to show for it. Okay, safely in for par here at 13. And he's going to remain one shot off the pace. Fourteenth hole here at the Wetlands. A dangerous par 3 comes in at 204 yards. There's some trouble out there.
And this is where you have to readjust your focus. If you start looking right or left of this green, you see all the problems that could come in and prevail. Instead, just look at that front bunker. Try and fly your tee shot over that, somewhere around the front edge of the green, maybe 3 or 4 yards on, and then the hole becomes that much easier.
And that will miss off to the left and wind up in the short grass. Oh, missed the green at the par 3. No problem. That is in from off the putting surface for an unlikely 2.
The last par 5 on this golf course is the 15th. It's 590 yards. You think, Frank, this is the time to be aggressive?
Certainly is. Longer hitters must be licking their chops on this par 5. 300-plus yard tee shot, you can definitely get home. Shorter hitters, just set it up for a nice wedge shot. But if you are going to go at this par 5 and 2, well protected by those 3 bunkers.
Looking for a strong finishing kick here on this Friday to get set up for the weekend, and that another good drive here. Now his third, staring right at the green. Yeah, good putt. That's in for par here at 15, and this will remain a one-shot advantage. So will this be the week that our featured golfer claims that first ever title? Frank, it's looking promising through 36 holes.
It is, and to just make that final leap to become a winner on the PGA Tour. Well, that's what's in front. It seems.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. This afternoon from the Wetlands, we bring you live third-round coverage of the Florida Classic. Rich Lerner here in our tower overlooking the 18th green.
Frank Nobilo is by my side. Out on the course, we've got Nota Begay III and Iona Stephen as we check the Saturday leaderboard. We've got a tie at the top at 15 under par. So let's get out and pick up the action as we head to the tee at the par 5 15. Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. I think he'll be fairly pleased with that, Frank. What do you think?
I certainly do. It was so good.
Okay, a solid par here at the 15th. And he'll stay at -9.
Moving to the 16th hole here at the Wetlands, 455-yard par 4, and you can see, Frank, that green is heavily guarded.
And consequently, you're really going to have to judge that second shot. Know your yardage, and also a good strike's required to safely keep the ball on the putting surface.
Nothing to fault there. Safely in the fairway. Ball on a bit of a downslope here as he ponders his second. Okay, that'll be a par here at 16, and he'll remain right where he is.
Par 3 17th, Frank, it's 238 yards.
There's still a chance for birdie here, though. Green shape's a little bit to the player's right, so a nice high draw coming in here. Even finding the middle of the putting surface will give you a chance to putt to really any position on this green.
Okay, a friendly bounce there, and that will make its way onto the putting surface. Just 5 feet left.
Frank, that is painful.
I mean, all you had to do, just hit it. Just hit it.
That one finished off for bogey here at 17. He'll fall back to 8 under par.
Final hole here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. It's par 4. It's not a long one, 377 yards. There must be some trouble out there somewhere.
Well, not really if you keep your wits about you. Just position the tee shot. You don't have to hit driver down here. Even a 3-wood's only going to leave a short iron. If you hit your 3-wood 250, 260 yards, do the maths, it's only 120 yards left. With that, with a scoring club, try and get that inside 10, 15 feet. Finish with a birdie.
But if you stray, then what?
Oh, no. We don't think of straying on this hole. This is the last hole. Got to finish well.
But I'm thinking about gators. Are there gators out there?
Well, there's gator on the menu. And that one barely makes the front of the green. Do you realize if you just miss hit the middle of the club by 1/4 of an inch, you lose 10%? That's right, 10%.
Oh, slow down. Oh, that's not what you're hoping for in a birdie putt. That'll go all the way off the green. Boy, that is a the hard way. Putt off the green of the previous shot. How do you make up for that? How about put it in the hole? Well, without a doubt, a disappointing Saturday for our featured golfer, Hyatt. EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. This afternoon, we're in the Sunshine State for live final round coverage of the Florida Classic. It is the great challenge that all these golfers face, trying to string 4 solid rounds together, trying to best Mother Nature and this course, and trying to beat the entire field as we check the leaderboard. We've got a tie at the very top at 16 under par. Meanwhile, our featured golfer playing out the string, trying to finish this tournament on a high note. We turn to Nota Begay III for this look at birdie.
And these are the putts he hasn't been able to do much with all day. This doesn't have a whole lot of movement to it, and he could surely use it.
This from about 10 feet.
Safely in. It's a bogey here at 14. And that's going to drop him to 2 under.
Final par 5 on the backside here at the Wetlands. It's 590 yards.
Which is really a tempting yardage. A good tee shot, perhaps think of reaching the par 5 and 2. But this green well protected by 3 bunkers, 2 on the left side and 1 short right. But hey, fortune favors the brave. At least that's what I was told.
A good swing and a good result, as that is safely into the fairway.
He's set up for his 3rd shot here, looking to get it on the green with this.
Awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
That is a good-looking pass out of the bunker right there. Got that to stop in a good place, leaving just a few feet for par. Nicely done as he rolls that in for his par. And he'll stay at 2 under. Making our move to the home stretch, the 16th. It's a par 4 and a good one at 455 yards.
And a chance to actually get a good run for the clubhouse because the holes are fairly short coming in. So good drive here. Find the putting surface. Maybe start the roll right here. In this game, it pays to have a convenient memory. Anything in the past, forget it. Just keep hitting shots like that. Well done.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward. Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
Okay, didn't want to let that one get away. It is a par here at 16, and he'll stay right where he is. 17th at the Wetlands, par 3, 238 yards. Frank, how would you describe this hole?
Well, it's a hole really that shapes up well for a nice little high draw. See the angle of the green pointing slightly to the right. A nice little draw into this par 3, and that'll find a nice avenue. Maybe a kick forward, 15, 20 feet left for birdie. And if you birdied 16, chance to birdie 17 as well.
This from 7 feet. Yeah, that's good putt. It is in for par here at 17. And he'll remain right where he is. Finishing our day at the Wetlands in Florida with the shortest par 4 of the course, the 377-yard 18. Water down the left shouldn't be a factor. Driver and a short iron. And a birdie is very much in the cards. Yeah, nothing to fault there. Good balance, good follow through, and a good start to this hole.
That's not too bad. Good shot. Inside 20 feet, I would imagine. So a good chance, really outside chance for birdie.
Oh, no, I thought that was in for sure. Just a little jag right at the end, going to leave it on the lip. Okay, a shake of the head as that one is finished off. And he'll drop back now to 1 under par.
Frank, that was a great day of golf. My only question now is, how are we getting back? How are we getting home from here?
Rich, there's only one way. That's the airboat. We're in Florida.
Rev it up. What a super day of golf we saw here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club along the St. Johns River. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long from all of us at EA Sports.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today from the Bay Hill Club and Lodge, opening round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational, presented by MasterCard. This promises to be a fun 4 days, a lot of storylines to get to as we check out the early leaderboard. And the leader is South Korea's K.H. Lee. He's on the move early at 5 under par. So let's get out to the course as we join the action on the tee at the par 5 fourth.
Frank, tricky little third shot here at the par 5 fourth.
Especially if you don't have a full number, because there's just that little mound in the middle of the green. If you get on the wrong side of that, instantly you can be 30, 40 feet away. So check where the flag is. Is it front? Is it back? And then try and land it in that section.
This one's going to need to carry some pace with it. A long one for birdie. Back up the slope. "12 feet still to go." Not quite online, and that'll drift a couple feet by. That one finished off. It is a bogey here at 4. And he'll drop back to 1 over par. You know, Frank, you walk around the grounds and this golf course, and you just can't help but think about the great Arnold Palmer and all that he did for the sport of golf. I know you've got a chance to know Mr. Palmer, as I did during your time playing the tour. What are your memories of Arnold?
Well, Rich, if you indulge me, I'd go back to when he played in New Zealand. I remember as just a young teenager watching him play at my local club. He was playing alongside Bob Charles. I was amazed then how he could still play. He was probably in his 50s in those days. And how he could still drive the ball well. And then I first got to play with him in the 1995 Masters. And the amazing thing about that is even though he lacked for a little bit of power as he got older, he had this amazing ability to work the ball around the golf course. And I learned so much about Augusta National just playing one round competitive round of golf with him. And then obviously when he would visit the booth at Bay Hill when I was doing the broadcast there. So he's the king for a reason. And the greatest line I ever heard was, Arnold Palmer never met a stranger.
Frank, he did have that rare ability to connect with kings and commoners. And there is an old saying that friends should be preferred to kings. He was, as you referenced, known as the king. But I always felt, Frank, that Arnold Palmer was very simply the best friend the game of golf has ever had.
Well said.
Frank, the 6th hole here at Bay Hill, this is not the hole you want to be playing if you have a case of the snap hooks, is it?
No, the snap hooks, you'll never leave the tee. Dozen balls, you'll still be gone.
That's up the left side. Okay, that is a bit further back than Bryson, but it is safely in the fairway here at 6. Going with the 3-wood, but this is headed for the lake. And that is into the water. So the first shot made it over okay, but the second is swallowed up by this lake here at 6. So with a penalty stroke added in, now lying 3, readying for shot number 4. doesn't seem to be going right, but that cures a few problems there. In from off the green to salvage a bogey.
You know, when the pros get up on a par 3 like this, they'll say very simply, this is a good par 3.
And it is. Requires everything you have at 199 yards.
Well-struck shot. That's all it's about.
And that's going to be too strong. It is into one of the 2 back bunkers around this 7th green.
Now from the bunker.
Just a little splash out on this par 3.
Yeah, look how quick that was. Very difficult to get that to stop, even out of the sand, and that race is right on by.
Nah, the putter bails him out there. That's in for a par. And he'll stay at 1 over.
Frank, how about the 8th par 4, one of the more intriguing setups?
Ideally, you want to just work your tee shot away from that bunker. But this is one fairway you must hit because it's one of the toughest second shots on the golf course.
This starting toward the right side. And that will do just fine. Uh-oh, that might not be enough. Yeah, that is into the water in front of this 8th green. So now, after the drop and the penalty stroke, this is going to be shot number 4 coming up. Frank, I think you have to appreciate that he kept his head down and kept his head in the game, and he'll be able to get out of here with a bogey.
Hey, I've been watching for a while, Rich, and I haven't seen touch that good for quite a while.
So 1 round in the books. Frank, how would you assess what you saw from this golf course?
I think the golf course was the star, Rich, really. There's enough good holes out there, some strong par 4s to really make you think. And then there's enough opportunity. Some of those short par 4s and par 5s, they're certainly gettable. So I think it bodes well for the remainder of this tournament.
So that'll do it for my partner here in the tower, Frank Nobilo. For Nota Begay, Iona Stephen, and all our crew, Rich Lerner saying, we'll see you next time on EA Sports PGA Tour. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational, presented by MasterCard. Things starting to slowly take shape here on this Friday. For some, it is a race for the top prize. For others, it's a fight to stick around for the weekend as we show you the leaderboard. We've currently got a tie at the top at 5 under par. Let's get right into the action, starting with the par 3 14th. This is an 11-foot putt. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the rugged Pacific coast of Oregon, it's opening round coverage of the Pacific Championship. This is going to be a compelling 4 days of golf. A lot of storylines to follow as we move through the weekend, and we take a look at the leaderboard here in round one. The Aussie Adam Scott is the leader. He's off to a good start at 6 under. So let's get you out to the action on the turn as we head to the tee at the par 4 10th.
Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
Safely in. It's a par here at the 10th. And he'll stay at even par. On to the 11th now, a par 4 at 452 yards. Best to keep it down the middle or to the right off the tee. That leads to an uphill second where you'll most likely have to take it right over that bunker that guards the front right portion of the green. Well, you can't walk out and drop it any better than that. That is a fine tee shot right there.
Now, a very conservative approach shot. It's a safe side of the green, but as we can all attest, a long way from the hole.
Oh, he nearly got away with his par from off the green. Still a great shot, Frank.
Yeah, he's surprised it didn't get to the hole. And to be honest, at first, I thought he hit it too hard, but it didn't even get there.
Okay, that's going to end up right in the middle of the green. This will slide a bit right. It's for birdie. Nope, I could have erased the bogey from the previous hole, but no dice there. That one safely in. It's a par here at 12. And he'll stay right where he is. We come now to the 13th, a 553-yard par 5. This hole reachable in 2. You may need to get lucky, though, on your drive, as rolling dunes could leave you with an uphill flyer lie or a tough downhill shot to contend with. That will be more than adequate. It's safely into the fairway. Wow, that is a well-struck second shot to this par 5. Maybe too well-struck, Frank.
Oh, come on, Rich. Look, I know longer irons are harder to hit, but 3-wood, it was just too much.
Ten-foot putt left. That one finished off. It's in for par, and he'll remain right where he is. On to a tough one now. The par 4 14th listed at 390 yards. Pot bunkers are the worry here. There are 5 of them to contend with all told, and none are easy outs. The green is a narrow one as well, with a good amount of tilt from back to front. And that was flirting with disaster the whole way, and it's going to wind up popping into the bunker. A lot to worry about here as he digs in for his second.
More evidence of the long bunker shot and exactly how difficult it is. So now, put that in the back of your mind. Grab that wedge out, chip it close, still make a par.
Ooh, that's got a little bit more movement than you think, and that'll slide on by. That one polished off for bogey, and that's going to move him back to 2 over par. So our featured golfer well back after round 1, and now likely in a fight just to play the weekend.
I think they were in a different zip code today, Rich. It was like watching 2 different players, really. The ones at the top of the leaderboard and, well, our cherished featured player. Not that good today.
So that should just about do it. For all of us at EA Sports, thanks for spending some time with us on the road to the Masters. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the Pacific Northwest and Bandon Dunes Golf Resort, live second-round coverage of the Pacific Championship. But if we see more of what we witnessed yesterday, we're in for a heck of a battle these next 3 days as we show you the current leaderboard here on this Friday. Russell Henley is the leader. He shows the way at 7 under. So let's get you out to the action on the turn as we head to the tee at the par 4 10th. Frank, with spring in the air, major season about to get underway. But we talk about the race for the FedEx Cup and where a young golfer like this might fit in. To this point in the season, their name not in that top 125 who will ultimately qualify for the playoffs. But you have to think that an event like this, one really strong finish, could put you right into the conversation.
It will. And it should. Springtime's also allergy season, Rich, and you got to be allergic to being outside the top 125 because being inside that just guarantees everything for the following season. So you might not be playing the golf that you think you should be playing, but if you can still just be on the right side of 125, it's amazing what a good little run will come at the right time.
This a tee shot that fits the eye, and that'll be just fine. He needs to be mindful of the breeze here as he sets for a second.
Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
Okay, well done. It is a par here at 11. But that's going to keep him on the outside looking in terms of playing the weekend. They make their par threes long here at Bend and Dunes. This one, the 12th, measures out at 238 yards. This one at least is slightly downhill. Areas of concern include that pot bunker short and left, and then the thicker stuff that comes into play if you knock it over the back. Oh, that's not going to be good. Oh, that'll bring a wry smile. A very good putt there to save his par. And he'll stay at level par. The rolling hills of Oregon provide the backdrop to this par 5 13th hole. At 553 yards, it is reachable in two. Big dunes in the fairway could make the stance awkward for that second shot. But a big green that measures better than 50 yards head to toe does yield a good number of eagle putts. And all about hitting the fairway here, and that is right where you want to be. I'm not sure he got every bit of that three-wood trying to get home to this par 5 and 2, but still in the ball game for a birdie. Okay, it's not stone dead, but that's not too bad. This a little under 10 feet for birdie. Confidently done there. That's in for birdie here at 13. And that might just wind up being the difference, as for the moment, that's going to move him inside the cut line in his quest to play the weekend. On a course with so many great vistas, this is visually a tough hole, this par 4 14th. Look out in the fairway and you'll see pot bunkers to contend with in your landing area. If you can stay left of the danger, you will have a better look into an elongated green. And that ball going to roll out a little too much as the momentum carries it all the way into the bunker. So this one going to have to carry a long way. Oh dear, that looks thick in there.
Just a little over ambitious on that chip shot. Just sailed past.
This one measures out to 24 feet. Okay, that's going to be finished off for his bogey. And he's going to fall out of red figures back down to even par. 4 holes to go as we come to the par 3 15th, measuring at 206 yards. Best to avoid the short right bunker, which is the deepest on the golf course. Putting one in the center of this plateaued green is not a bad play here. And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either. Sitting up in the short grass.
The strike was fine on the pitch shot. Ball first, then turf. Just wasn't really hit hard enough.
Nope, good effort, but that's going to wander a few feet by. Okay, a bogey here at the 15th. And that won't help the cause one bit. So for our featured golfer, Frank, it is on to the weekend. Who knows? If you get out early on Saturday, try and post a number, see what happens.
Exactly. There's such a fine line, Rich, between playing well and sort of not struggling, but just mediocre. Putt goes in here or there. That could easily change tomorrow. Make a couple of birdies early, pop a long one in, and all of a sudden you're off and running.
So that's a wrap for all of us at EA Sports PGA Tour. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you next time on the road. EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From picturesque Bandon Dunes on the Pacific coast of Oregon, it's live third-round coverage of the Pacific Championship. Well, if yesterday was any indication, we should be in for a memorable weekend of golf here as we take in the leaderboard on this Saturday. We've got a tie at the top here at 10 under par. We'll get right out to the action here as we head to the tee at the par 4 first. Well, had a good lie in the fairway, but couldn't do anything with it. That comes up woefully short.
Chip shots, you've got to be so precise. You see all the contours of the green. Well, just needed a few more feet out of that one.
Okay, it's a bogey here at the first. And he'll slide back now to 3 over par. The second hole, a par 3 measuring 220 yards. In theory, it's a straightforward, though long, par 3. 2 bunkers left and short shouldn't be in play, but the hole does play deceivingly uphill, so a solid strike is a must. And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either. Sitting up in the short grass. That finished off for par here with the second. And he'll hold steady at +3. And that, a good-looking shot there. Well placed in the fairway.
Set up in the fairway, 200 yards from here.
That is going to be tough in there. That is into the heavy stuff.
Nobody's really going to be happy after that shot, squandering a really good opportunity of making birdie at this par 5.
This one measures out to 15 feet.
Got it there, but not quite on target. That one in for a bogey here at the third. And that's going to move him back to 4 over. Up next, we come to the par 4 fourth hole, which measures out at 443 yards. Beware that the rough is thick if you miss here, but a well-placed drive rewards you with our first real look at the Pacific, as you'll see that big expanse of blue and start to hear the crashing waves below.
Too strong for this hole, eh? Ran out of fairway and into the rough. Big hit, though.
Second shot coming up. Let's bring in Iona Stephen.
136 is the number. Ball sitting down a little bit in the rough, but nothing too dangerous.
I imagine a miss club because that ball sailed past the flag. Really just fortunate to stay on the back of the green.
Hang on. That's going to leave about 3 feet. He'll go ahead and finish that off. It's in for his bogey. And he'll fall back now to 5 over par. We turn northward along the beach here at the 445-yard par 4 fifth. Like the previous hole, the landing area is a narrow one, and it doesn't get much easier from there. The green's protected by a big bunker on the right, and be careful because those onshore breezes like to push the ball that way. No issues here. That is into the fairway. Wind coming from his right as he gets set for his second.
Imagine a missed club because that ball sailed past the flag. Really just fortunate to stay on the back of the green.
Oh, hang on. Well, that might bring bogey into play because that's going to run all the way off the green. Wow. So now he'll trade putter for a wedge and try and blast this back out. Oh, what a good job of keeping that club face open throughout contact. You saw the big splash, and this winds up just a few feet from the hole. Okay, no further damage. It's a bogey 5. That's going to drop him back down to 6 over. We continue our turn northward along the bluffs as we come to the par 3 sixth. It's another stout one at 217 yards. Most golfers will be happy to play toward the right center part of this large green and stay away from the trouble, including the cliff on the left. And that one going to wind up smack dab in the middle of the green. A lot of green to travel here, but this is for birdie. "21 feet from pay dirt." Okay, it's a bogey here at number 6. And that's going to drop him down the leaderboard just a bit. Well, without a doubt, a disappointing Saturday for our featured golfer. High expectations coming in, but it's an over par round, leaving him well back.
Rich, the sadistic side of me actually sort of enjoyed.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From Bandon Dunes on the central coast of Oregon, it's live final round coverage of the Pacific Championship. Well, we have already seen 3 scintillating, sometimes spectacular rounds of golf. By the time twilight comes calling later today, we will have a champion as we check the Sunday leaderboard. Xander Schauffele is the leader. He's at 15 under. Meanwhile, our featured golfer here, well back on the scoreboard and just looking to go out and make some birdies. Wow, that is a well-struck second shot to this par 5. Maybe too well-struck, Frank.
Oh, come on, Rich. Look, I know longer irons are harder to hit, but 3-wood, it was just too much.
13 feet away. Okay, safely in for par here at 13. And he's going to stay at +5. On to a tough one now. The par 4 14th listed at 390 yards. Hot bunkers are the worry here. There are 5 of them to contend with all told, and none are easy outs. The green is a narrow one as well, with a good amount of tilt from back to front. No problems there. That's going to wind up safely in the fairway. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. That's got to be disappointing. Good lie in the fairway, and the approach winds up in a bunker. Yeah, that's going to be just okay. Might have been a little worried about not getting it out, and instead this is going to leave a tough putt coming up. Good putt there. It's a bogey 5 here at the par 4. And that won't help the cause one bit. On now to the final par 3 on the course, the 15th, listed at 206 yards. Don't be lulled to sleep by the sound of crashing waves and seagulls. This hole can bite you, especially if you don't avoid that front right bunker, the deepest on the course. Okay, that one's dancing. Birdie putt coming up, and we go to Iona Stephen.
Yeah, and this is the sort of putt that he can have a good run at, ever so slightly up the hill with a hint of movement from left to right.
Yeah, he wanted that to go a little more, but that's not too bad from there.
Okay, a solid par here at the 15th, and he'll remain at 6 over. Maybe the prettiest hole on the golf course, this par 4 16. A plethora of options off the tee. Most end up deciding to see just how close to the green they can get it. Beware, though, of the ever-present bend and dunes pot bunkers, as well as some pretty thick gorse off to the right. Oh no, lost that one dead right. That ball went straight down into the heavy rough. The lie is not a friendly one, but still a chance to get on in 2 with a good shot here. Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop. Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
Okay, that'll be a par here at 16. And he'll stay right where he is. A lot of these holes here at Bend and Dunes have big, wide landing areas. That is not the case here at the par 4 17. You'll need to thread the needle here with bunkers on either side, thick rough on the left, and a canyon to the right. But a safe drive in the fairway can yield a pretty good look at your second. So from a little more than 70 yards, this is second.
right, that's a board, but a lot of green between ball and hole.
Gonna have to take pretty much a full swing at this one with the putter because this one is into the hill and the hole is cut back. This is a 13-footer.
Oh, yeah, worth an exhale there. That's a good par save here at 17. And he'll remain right where he is. On to the home hole to wrap up the round here at Bandon Dunes. And after battling to get here, isn't it nice to have a birdie hole to take you to the clubhouse? That's what we have with this 558-yard par 5. Simply avoid the bunkers off the tee, and you should have a good chance to reach this green in two.
That second shot got all the way down by the green, but in the bunker. So we'll have to see what the explosion shot can do from here. Really need a birdie right now.
Okay, a good out, and that's what will remain for birdie.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
Yeah, it's a birdie at the last. And this will be a 72 for this final round.
Well, that about wraps things up for us here today. I'd like to thank my partner, Frank Nobilo. Enjoyed it, Frank?
Certainly did, Rich. Once again, the golf course provided more than a stern test.
And for the entire team, I'm Rich Lerner. Until next time.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, we're back in the Sunshine State at the Wetlands for live first-round coverage of the Wetlands Championship. We've got a full field ready to get rolling on this Thursday as we get a look at the early leaderboard. We've got a tie at the top at 2 under par. Let's pick up the action here as we begin at the long par 5 first. Good shot right there with that 3-wood, sitting up nicely.
Yeah, most importantly, the second shot's on the fairway. And this par 5 playing long today. See how close this third shot can be hit.
Iona Stephen is at the first green. This for birdie.
Hair of right to left in this one, Rich. Straight back up the slope.
Well done. That is in for a par here at the first. And he'll stay at even par. And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either. Sitting up in the short grass.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here.
Good putt there. It's in for par here at the second. And he'll stay at level par. And no issues there. Good tee shot in the short grass. So a breeze at his back as he readies his second to the par 4.
So now this, right around 25 feet for birdie.
Oh, boy, hit that a little firm, trying to take some of the break out. And that's the result. That one safely in for a bogey. And he's going to fall back now to 1 over par. Okay, a little local knowledge there. He gets that ball to work back onto the green. And now a birdie putt coming up. Let's bring in Nota Begay III for a look at birdie.
Not a ton in this, but you have to hit it firm.
Okay, that one finished off. It's a par here at 4. And he'll stay at 1 over.
Good look now at the 5th hole here at the Wetlands. Par 5, and it's a good one. 635 yards.
Just what you want to do. Land it in the fairway. Get a little bit of rollout. And that is a good shot. I guess you could say slow and steady is going to win this race, or so he hopes. Long ways to go.
I'd also add the word short, Rich. Slow, steady, and short. This is a long par 5 now.
That one was running so hot. Yeah, that's a good putt. It is a par here at the 5th. And he'll stay right where he is.
Par 4 6th here at the Wetlands. 440 yards and water to deal with.
Two choices here, Rich. Lay it up short of the wetlands. Oh, well, chance it. Brave enough, tee it up and flash it across the wetlands to just a mere short iron into this lengthy par 4.
It's amazing how well folks hit the irons off the tee nowadays, and that a prime example right there. Noticeable breeze coming right to left as he eyes his second. Well, going to be a lengthy putt for birdie, but on a long approach like that, anything on the green is a welcome sight. Nicely read there. It is a par here at the 6th, and he'll stay at 2 under. Our featured golfer in a good position, you'd have to say. Just 3 shots off the pace after round 1.
Just got to keep the leaders in check, though. Can't afford to get, further away.
So that's it for us. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today from Central Florida, it's live second-round coverage of the Wetlands Championship. Things starting to slowly take shape here on this Friday. For some, it is a race for the top prize. For others, it's a fight to stick around for the weekend as we show you the leaderboard. We've got a tie at the top at 6 under par. So let's get out to the course as we pick up the action starting at the par 4 11.
Well, the easy part's done. It's on the green. The hard part now is a long putt coming up.
This will require the full attention. A huge swing left to right on this putt. Just trying to get it in there close. That's always painful. Just another couple of rolls and it drops. This is an 11-foot putt. Safely in. It's a bogey here at number 11. He's going to fall out of red figures, back down to even par. So on this back 9, we started with a par 3, then a par 4, and now we get to a par 5. The 12th is 576 yards.
Yeah, nice blend of holes there that you've just referenced. 11 bends to the left, consequently 12 will bend in the other direction. Good drive required. From there, just setting up perhaps, 7 iron, 6 iron, into a green that's sort of fairly uniform in shape and should present a birdie with a good second shot.
I'm not sure he got every bit of that 3-wood trying to get home to this par 5 and 2.
but still in the ball game for a birdie. Right around 6 feet here for birdie. Okay, that'll help the cause. It's a birdie here at number 12. And he's into red figures now at 1 under par. Here we are now at the 452-yard par 4 13th, requiring a straight tee shot. Fairway widens for long hitters, offering a good approach to a green flanked by 2 bunkers in front. Looking for a strong finishing kick here on this Friday to get set up for the weekend, and that another good drive here. Just a case of the hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Nicely done. 2 straight birdies here early on this backside. And he moves it to 2 under par. Heading now to the 204-yard par 3 14th. Bunkers short left and right. But the real trouble is the water running alongside the right side of the hole. Avoid that, and you should be in reasonably good shape. That was obviously well struck, but it came in a little too hot, and that one's going to run out and leave him a much longer birdie putt than he would have hoped for. Safely in. It's a bogey here at 14. And he'll drop back now to 1 under par. Stepping up here on the 15th tee at the Wetlands, this is a 590-yard par 5. As picturesque as they come, that is right down the middle. Now from way back, better than 300 yards, a second to the par 5. Oh, just a good solid shot right there with that 3-wood, Frank.
That's an aggressive layup, really trying to force that 3-wood down and get it as close as possible to the green. That's 2 good shots if you can't reach the par 5. And that'll do just fine.
Just 6 feet left for the birdie.
Ah, yes, never in doubt. It's a birdie here at 15. And he will definitely not say no to that.
So for our featured golfer, Frank, it is on to the weekend. Who knows, if you get out early on Saturday, try and post a number, see what happens.
Exactly. There's such a fine line, Rich, between playing well and sort of not struggling, but just mediocre. Putt goes in here or there. That could easily change tomorrow. Make a couple of birdies early, pop a long one in, then...
EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, from the great state of Florida, live third-round coverage of the Wetlands Championship. Rich Lerner here in our tower overlooking the 18th green. Frank Nobilo is by my side. Out on the course, we've got Nota Begay III and Iona Stephen as we check the Saturday leaderboard. We've got a tie at the very top at 9 under par. As for our featured golfer, their place is secured for the weekend, but it's going to take something special to get back into contention. That's going to scoot a foot or two by. Okay, finished off there for double bogey. And he'll slide back now to 3 over par.
Here at the par 5 7th at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club, 592 yards.
Beautiful tempo to that swing, and this is going to wind up squarely in the fairway. Now a second from well over 300 yards. This will be about positioning. And that will make it onto the putting surface, but ultimately, not a real good shot. Oh, I can't tell you how good that is to get it to stop where it did from that far away. That is a super putt. Yep, well done. That's in for par here at 7. And he'll hold steady at +3. On to the 8th. It's a par 3, 203 yards. What's going on here, Frank?
Interesting par 3, really. It looks anything other than a straightaway hole. That bunker short of this green gives you like an optical illusion. You think it's lapping up with the front of this green, but there's actually sort of 3 or 4 yards before you get to the putting surface. A little bit of a drop off behind this green, and it narrows out the deeper the green gets. So tricky little par 3.
All right, you take those all day long. On the green, chance for birdie coming up. We welcome in Iona Stephen. This, a putt for birdie.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Rich, this is not a complicated putt. We're going up a little slope, so pace essential.
Nope. Okay, that in for par here at the 8th. And he'll remain right where he is.
Finishing up the front side here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club with a par 5, 621 yards.
Finishing out the front side with yet another lengthy par 5, the 9th measuring 621 yards, but still reachable for the bombers out there with 3 bunkers protecting against your approach shot. Still well over 300 yards to the flag, so getting this to a good number, the key here for his second. We all know there is so much emphasis these days on power, hitting the ball long ways. We forget once in a while that you have to be able to put the ball in the proper places. That's what he's done right here.
Yeah, par fives were designed as three-shotters, and this hole is definitely a three-shotter today. And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
Yeah, that'll do nicely. Just beyond the hole. Super job there out of the bunker.
So that'll be a par, and it'll keep him at +4 on the day.
We begin the inward 9 at the wetlands with the lengthy par 3 10th, 246 yards, 3 bunkers protecting the front of the green, and anything long or left has a chance to be wet. And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either, sitting up in the short grass. Safely in. It's a par here at the 10th. And he'll stay right where he is. Well, without a doubt, a disappointing Saturday for our featured golfer. High expectations coming in, but it's an over par round, leaving him well back.
Rich, the sadistic...
EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today from the Sunshine State of Florida, it's final round coverage of the Wetlands Championship. What a week and weekend this has been so far. Everything you want in a golf tournament. By nightfall, we will have our winner. As you take a look at the current leaderboard on this Sunday afternoon, the Australian Aaron Baddeley is our leader. He's at 15 under. So out to the action we go as we catch up with our golfer on the tee at the par 4 13th.
Well, those are the shots that turn what you'd like to be a leisurely stroll out on the golf course into a day of hard work.
Yeah, what could have been a tap-in is now going to be a grind.
Well judged. That is in for par here at 13. And he'll remain right where he is.
Good par 3 here at the 14th. It's a little bit more than 200 yards, Frank.
And there's a bunker short. So you've got to fly that coming in there. And if you do miss time one, that's when that body of water to the right really comes into play. Typical Floridian golf, but high-flying, soft-landing tee shot, once again, is the goal.
And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either. sitting up in the short grass. Okay, good putt. And a par here at 14. And he'll stay right where he is. Next up, the final par 5 of the day here at the Wetlands, the 590-yard 15. Again, no bunkers or water in the landing zone, so it is time to give one a ride. Yeah, that's a nice swing, and the result is going to be a tee shot that is set up just fine. .105 yards left. Okay, a solid par here at the 15th, and he'll remain right where he is. We begin the finishing stretch here at the Wetlands with the 455-yard par 4 16. Looking for another straight tee shot here. The approach leads to a green well protected by 4 bunkers. Yeah, that's a good tee shot right there. Got a little extra run out. That's where you want to be. We turn to Nota Begay the third for this look at birdie.
And if you've ever used a putting mat as a holiday gift, this is the putt. Slightly up a hill and dead straight.
Oh, the pace was spot on. That ball somehow just decided not to go down. Okay, that'll be a par here at 16. And he'll stay right where he is. Another longish par 3 here at the Wetlands. This one, the 238 yards, 17th. A bunker on either side of the green. The tee shot fits a golfer that can shape it a bit from right to left.
Now from the bunker. Just a little splash out on this par 3.
Okay, not bad out of the sand, and that's what will remain, trying to grind out a par. Yeah, that's a good putt. It is in for par here at 17. And he'll remain right where he is.
Well, this is it, Frank, the 18th hole. And on paper, it looks like you can get this one. You can make a birdie because it's only 377 yards.
You're exactly right, Rich. Just a nice drive. Doesn't even have to be a driver here. It's going to set you up really short iron wedge into this short par 4. And, well, I always like to finish on a birdie. I know you do too, because a little walk to the clubhouse there on the left, maybe a hot dog or a hamburger.
A pretty ideal wedge distance here, 95 yards for his second.
In golf, you know, you've heard the term mulligan. You'd love that a do-over there, wouldn't you? I mean, that's just, that's very poor from that range.
"13 feet away." Ooh, good speed there. That'll lead just a couple of feet. Okay, a shake of the head as that one is finished off. And he'll drop back to 1 over par.
And that wraps up another great day of golf here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. Frank, I really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed the Gator Bites as well at the end of the day, Rich. Some good golf to be had. Florida's always fun, playing on the Bermuda grass. And once again, shout out to the superintendent letting us play in the tournament conditions here at the Wetlands.
And now it's on the Gator Bites and a beverage. For all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner, along with Frank Nobilo, saying so long until next time.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, from the Ocean Course at Kiowa Island, we bring you first-round coverage of the Carolina Open. What might we have in store for us over the course of these next 4 days? We've got big names, we've got dark horses, we've got it all as we look at the leaderboard on this Thursday. We've got a tie at the top at 3 under par. We'll get out to the action here as we pick things up on the par 4 6th hole. Right, in the fairway. Wind coming from his right as he gets set for his second. Well, going to be a lengthy putt for birdie, but on a long approach like that, anything on the green is a welcome sight. "11 feet away." Well read. That's in for a bogey 5. And just like that, he'll fall to 3 over par.
Super wide fairway here at the par 5, 7. Definitely reachable in 2. I think you'd be disappointed if you didn't walk off with a 4 here.
That's certainly the plan of most people on this hole, Rich. And I just think of that old adage that I was taught as a kid. And it's great for these holes. It still works. Tee it high, let it fly.
The wind's starting to push this one a little left.
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
And that's where you need to be, back into the fairway on this par 5. Ready for his 3rd shot, needs to hit this close. Gonna have to give this a pretty good thump. Line may have been a little more sunken in than we had thought, but all in all, not a bad shot out of the bunker. Okay, that's good putt. It is in to save par. And he'll stay right where he is. On to the 8th hole now at 198 yards, par 3. Like so many of the greens on this front side, if you don't land it just right, there's a hard slope around the edges, so having the distance dialed in here is a must.
Getting some sand in the shoes now. For a 2nd straight hole, he's in the bunker. Looking to splash this softly onto the green.
Well, that was a difficult bunker shot. It's actually well done and still good chance to save par.
That's going to leak out to the right and trickle away. Not the right read there. That one finished off. It's a bogey here at number 8. And that's going to move him back to 4 over. Hole number 9 here at the Ocean Course is a long par 4 at a robust 514 yards. Flat lies difficult to find anywhere from the rolling fairway to the undulating green. A 4, that's a great way to finish out this front side. This started toward the left side.
No fairway here. This one in that rough.
So from the rough, his 2nd at 9.
It's 37 yards to the hole.
Nothing to it. Very well judged there. Okay, can't take putts that length for granted, but that's in for a par. Here we go, making the turn, par 4, 10th hole. And Frank, what's in front of the player right now?
I prefer to see this hole, Rich, as a slight dogleg left to right. Then that way it takes out the temptation to mess around with that right side. Nothing wrong with hitting it a little left of center. The hole will still open up. I know I've got to hit it across the bunker, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Just what you want at this point in the round. You're trying to find a rhythm, hit fairways, hit the middle of the club face. That's what they did right there. Well, had a good look at the green, but couldn't cash it in. In the rough now, wondering what might have been. Oh, is that any good? Perfect.
That was tracking pretty well, too. That could have gone in for the same price.
So that's in for par to start this backside. And he'll remain at +4. We arrive here at the 593-yard par 5 11. Off the tee, it is imperative to miss the sand areas on the right side. On the second shot, best to lay up to the right, taking the waist area on the left side out of play. Do that, and you'll have a good chance at a good score. And that is dead center right down the middle here to start the hole. And that is not the spot to be. Oh, that ball releases beautifully, and that is how you do it. The putter has not been at its best, but this is a good look for birdie. You bet, a birdie here at the 11th. For the golfer we had our eye on, no other way to say it, Frank. Just not a real good day out there.
It could be a short week, Rich. We can complain about the conditions and that, but look at the leaderboard. The rest of the field, they didn't have a problem.
So that'll do it. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the ocean course at Kiowa Island, it's live second-round coverage of the Carolina Open. Well, if we see more of what we witnessed yesterday, we're in for a heck of a battle these next 3 days as we show you the current leaderboard here on this Friday. The former Cal Bear, Brandon Hagee, is the leader. He's currently at 5 under. So let's get out and join the fray as we pick things up on the tee at the par 5 11th. Third shot, looking for a good one. Not sure what happened there. Wrong club selection or execution. Regardless, a lot of meat still on that bone.
The strike was fine on the pitch shot. Ball first, then turf. Just wasn't really hit hard enough.
Nah, that's going to wander off to the right and leave maybe 2-3 feet coming back. Safely in. It's a bogey here at number 11. And that's going to drop him down the leaderboard just a bit.
More fun now from Pete Dye here at the par 4 12. This is the widest fairway on the golf course, but then it is one of the narrowest approaches.
Yeah, it's also the start of two very important par 4s here at Kiwa Rich, because the drive here and 13 has to be spot on. This one has bunkers, but both second shots will have water in play.
Solid, a good drive in the fairway. He'll be factoring in this breeze in his face as he sets for a second. He's hoping here to at least get this to tap-in range, but it is for birdie.
Now a 7-footer.
That slides by to the right. Just never had that on target. So a tough hole, and it's in for bogey at 12. And he'll fall back now to 5 over par. The par 4 13th here at the Ocean Course is a beauty, demanding strategy off the tee. Challenging the canal running down the right side allows you to possibly shorten the hole, but playing away from the canal brings a cluster of pot bunkers into play left. This is turning a little to his left.
Ball's back in the fairway. I guess it's better to be lucky than good. Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
Nope, couldn't get that one on target. Okay, that one finished off. It is a bogey here at unlucky number 13. And that's going to drop him back down to 6 over.
Par 3 14th hole, and this one is a stunner, isn't it?
It looks good, but it's not much fun to play. When you look down there, you might as well be hitting on the top of a pyramid. And look at the way it falls off, down to that sandy area on the left, a good 10 feet below. If you finish up short, it's going to roll the way back to the tee box that way. Good 10 feet short. If you miss it on the right, well, that's about 10 feet below the level of the putting surface. I'm not even going to talk about the back of the green. Please, please, hit the green.
Boy, that ball got caught in the breeze, and it was just along for the ride. Much too firm there.
Golf is so much about nearlies. Just a little bit more effort on that one. Would have been close. Instead, just that awkward distance.
This is an 11-foot putt. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today from the famed Harbortown Golf Links in South Carolina, it's opening round coverage of the RBC Heritage. This promises to be a fun 4 days, a lot of storylines to get to as we check out the early leaderboard. On top, it's Patrick Cantlay. He's off to a good start at 6 under. So let's get out to the course as we pick up the action starting at the par 4 11. Frank, such a distinctive stop on tour, unlike anything we see all year. This great tournament has been played here at Harbortown since 1969. It's an original Pete Dye design with a little help from Jack Nicklaus. What does it take to be successful here?
I'm going to say patience, but that from a different point of view to what most people think, Rich. The fact that you have to hit the ball pretty much in the same place on every hole. That doesn't matter if you're a 300-yard hitter or a 250-yard hitter. There's various choke points in these fairways, so everybody finishes up playing their second shots from roughly the same position.
A 6-footer now for birdie. Okay, that ball on line all the way. It's a birdie here at 11. And he'll move to 3 under par, just 3 back.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
It is in the rough, but it appears to be a pretty good lie. Should have a go at this. His second now at the 12th. From the rough into the bunker, or the frying pan into the fire. Sometimes mistakes, they just have a way of compounding themselves. Okay, safely on the putting surface out of the sand. Would have maybe like to run that up a little further, but that's not the worst shot in the world. Might overread it just a bit, and it stayed out wide left of the hole. That one polished off for bogey, and that's going to drop him to 2 under. So many visually arresting holes here at Harbortown. This might be the best of the bunch. The 373-yard par 4 13th. Architect Pete Dye created some of the best work that golf has ever seen. But credit the design on this hole, as well as the 17th at TPC Sawgrass, to his wife, Alice, who drew up this design, how's this, on a napkin. Snap, just caught it fat out of the rough. Never had a chance of reaching, and now it is time to regroup and try to escape with a par. Just too tough to control out of the sand. That one unable to hold the green. It'll run off into the short stuff.
I don't think he's going to fall in love with that one, Frank, but it won't hurt him.
No, but you'd expect from there to sort of get it within kicking distance. Now you got to work.
Okay, no further damage. It's a bogey 5. And he'll fall back to 1 under par. The 14th now at Harbour Town, a par 3 at 190 yards. Don't let the fact that this is the number 18 handicap hole fool you. The danger is self-evident on this hole as water runs all along the right side of the green.
Oh, this is hung out to the right, and that is going to be trouble. No, that needed much more behind it than it got, and it comes up well short and into the hazard protecting the front of this par 3. No, that ball got slowed up by the branches, and it is going to wind up in the hazard. So now, with the drop taken, this is going to be his 5th at the par 3.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada, opening round coverage of the Mesquite Classic. This is going to be a compelling 4 days of golf. A lot of storylines to follow as we move through the weekend and we take a look at the leaderboard here in round 1. A lot of folks fighting for the title, including our leader. We'll get out to the action here as we pick things up on the par 4 6th hole. Frank, this is such a cool venue for a golf tournament out here in Mesquite, Nevada. What a difference from a week ago at Harbour Town in South Carolina with those narrow fairways and trees everywhere. Wolf Creek, looks like you can let it rip.
That's for sure. I grew up in New Zealand. We didn't have these canyons and wide open spaces, and certainly, you know, the wildlife running around. So for me, I thought it was sort of awe-inspiring, just seeing America's beauty at its best. But you're right, dramatically different from Hilton Head. Everybody goes to the range and they all want to hit 300-yard short shots. But those little chip shots, they're just as important.
Yes, a perfect read there. That is in to save par. And he'll stay at 1 over. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and that's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Okay, that's acceptable there. That's going to scoot a foot or 2 by. That one finished off. It'll be a par here at 7. And he'll remain right where he is. We think back to the 3rd hole at Wolf Creek, straight up the hill. This 8th is the opposite. It's listed at 248 yards on the scorecard, but it plays significantly shorter than that thanks to a drop of better than 80 feet from tee to green. Keep that in mind when selecting your club. Starting right, got to be careful over there. Oh, and just no way to get that ball to stop. Continues right over the back of the green and into the water. Okay, so now after the drop and the penalty stroke, this will become his third shot now at the par 3.
$18 feet from the bottom of the cup.
No, kind of underread that one, and it winds up missing below the hole. Okay, this par 3 shows its teeth. It is a double bogey. And he'll slide back now to 3 over par. This is a good one to close out the front side. 390 yards, a par 4. Yeah, you can hit the big one and just air it out. Finishing up the front side here at Wolf Creek with the 390-yard par 4 9. Bit of a breather here. Time to pull out the big stick and let it rip. Find the fairway, and a birdie is definitely in play. That one up the right side.
That had to be in the rough the whole way. One more bounce back on the fairway.
So can he capitalize on the break here? His second from the short grass.
That's a head scratcher. That approach shot from relatively close in. I would have been looking at 10 to 15 feet.
Don't leave it short. Wow. Yeah, that's a steadying putt right there. Well done to save par. The par 4 10th, and Frank, what's the right way to attack this hole?
A little deceiving off the tee here, Rich, because you don't see the full width of the fairway because of the desert down the right side. You do see those bunkers down the left. 280 yards take them completely out of play. And it's a fun green, obviously protected by those bunkers on the left.
To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. Iona, this a birdie putt.
Well, they often say it's the toughest putt in golf. There's not a lot to it. I think you can take dead aim.
Oh, that needs to hang on. Well, you can't leave a birdie putt short, but this is far too firm, and this is going to run off the putting surface altogether.